Judges 15. Simon's vengeance on the Philistines. Later on, at the time of wheat harvest, Samson took a young goat and went to visit his wife. He said, "I'm going to my wife's room," but her father would not let him go. Wait, that was a Judges something, 7 something. Wait, Judges 15:7. Okay, Samson said to them, "Since you've acted like this, I swear to God, I won't stop until I get my revenge on you." He attacked them viciously and slaughtered many of them. Then he lay down and stayed. Then he stayed in a cave in the rock of Etam. Okay, the rock of Etam. The Philistines went up and camped in Judah, spreading out near Lehi. The people of Judah asked, "Why have you come to fight us? Why have you come to take Samson prisoner?" They answered, "To do to him as he did to us." Motherfucker. Then 3,000 men from Judah went down to the cave in the rock of Etam and said to Samson, "Don't you realize that the Philistines are rulers over us? What have you done to us?" He answered, "I merely did to them what they did to me." They said to him, what the fuck? They said to him, "We've come to tie you up and hand you over to the Philistines." Simon said, "Swear to me that you won't kill me yourselves." "Agreed," they answered. "We will only tie you up and hand you over to them. We will not kill you." So they bound him and with two new ropes and led him up from the rock. As he approached Lehi, the Philistines came toward him shouting. Why is there a fucking mirror there? That makes shit so uncomfortable, man. What the fuck? Can I... Motherfucker. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him. The ropes of his arms became like sheared flax, and the bindings dropped from his hands. Finding a fresh jawbone of a donkey, he grabbed it and struck down 1,000 men. Then Simon said, "With a donkey jawbone, I have made donkeys of them. With a donkey jawbone, I have killed 1,000 men." When he finished speaking, he threw away the jawbone, and the place was called Ramat Lehi. Because he was very thirsty, he cried out to the Lord, "You have given your servant this great victory. Must I now die of thirst and fall into the hands of the uncircumcised?" Okay. Then God opened up to the How place in Lehi, and water came out of it. When Simon drank, his strength returned and he revived. So the spring was called En Hakore, and it is still there in Lehi. Samson led Israel for 20 years in the days of the Philistines. Okay, that's short, kinda short. That's better. Is it? No, it's not really better. Samson and Delilah. One day Samson went to Gaza, where he saw a prostitute. He went in to spend the night with her. The people of Gaza were told Samson is here, so they surrounded the place and lay in wait for him all night at the city gate. They made no move during the night, saying, "At dawn we will kill him." But Samson lay there until the middle of the night. Then he got up and took hold of the doors of the city gate, together with the two posts, and tore them loose, bar and all. What the fuck is Samson? Is Samson the fucking... Wait, is the same guy? Samson is a fucking G. Holy shit. Okay, so he fucking what? He touches children. Like, what the fuck is he doing? He doesn't touch children, obviously, but like, he's a fucking gang. Gang. Like, what the fuck? What? So he kills 1,000 men with a Joe something with a donkey, and he sleeps with a prostitute, and then he kills 2 people. Okay, lay down. Okay. He lifted them to his shoulder and carried them to the top of the hill that faces Hebron. Sometime later, he fell in love with a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. The rulers of the Philistines went to her and said, "See if you can lure him into showing you the secret of his great strength and how we can overpower him." So you may tie him up and subdue him. Each one of us will give 1,100 shekels of silver. So Delilah said to Samson, "Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied and subdued." Samson answered, "If anyone ties me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been tried, I will become as weak as any other man." Then the rulers of the Philistines brought her 7 fresh bowstrings that had not been tried, and she tied him with them, with men hidden in the room. So she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." But he snapped the bowstrings, and easily as piece of string snaps when it comes close to flame. So the secret of his strength was not discovered. Then the Lord said to Simon, "You have made a fool of me, you lied to me. Come now, tell me how you can be tied." He said, "If anyone ties me secretly with new ropes that have never been used, I'll become as weak as any other man." So Delilah took new ropes and tied him with them. Then with men hidden in the room, she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you," but he snapped the ropes of his arms as if they were threads. Delilah said to Samson, "All this time you have been making a fool of me and lying to me. Tell me how you can be tied." He replied, "If you wave 7 braids of my head into a fabric, 7 braids, on the loom and tighten it with the pin, I'll become as weak as any other man." So while he was sleeping, Delilah took the 7 braids on his head, wove them into the fabric, and tightened it with the pin. Again, she called him, "Simon, the Philistines are upon you." He woke from his sleep and pulled up the pin and loom with the fabric. Then she said to him, "How can you say I love you when you can't confide in me? This is the 3rd time you have made a fool of me, and you haven't told me the secret of your great strength." Wait, is she a prostitute? Ah, he fell in. Okay. So, when you won't confide in me, this is the 3rd time that you have made a fool of me and haven't told me the secret of your great strength. With such nagging, she prodded him day after day until he was sick to death. Respect, by the way. So he told her everything. "No razor has been used on my head," he said, "because I've been a Nazirite, dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head were shaven, my strength would leave me, and it would become as weak as any other man." So Delilah saw that he had told her everything. She sent word to the rulers of the Philistines, "Come back once more. He has told me everything." So the rulers of the Philistines returned with the silver in their hands. After putting him to sleep over her lap, she called for someone to shave off the 7 braids of his hair. Is he sped? What the fuck is he doing? Is he sped? And so began to subdue him, and his strength left him. Then she called Samson, the Philistines are upon you. He woke up, received and thought, "I will go out as before and shake myself free," but he did not know that the Lord had left him. Then the Philistines seized him, gouged his eyes, and took him down to Gaza. Binding him with bronze shackles, they sent him to the grinding grain in the prison, but the hair on his head began to grow again after it had been shaved, that of Samson. Now the rulers of the Philistines assembled to offer a great sacrifice to Dagon, their god, to celebrate, saying, "Our God has delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hands." When the people saw him, they praised their God, saying, "Our God has delivered our enemy into our hands, the one who laid waste our land and multiplied our slain." While they are in high spirits, they shouted, "Bring out Samson to entertain us." So they called Samson out of the prison, and he performed for them. When he stood him among the pillars, Samson said to the servant who held his hand, "Put me where I can feel the pillars that support the temple, so that I may lean against them." Now the temple was crowded with men and women. All the rulers of the Philistines were there, and on the roof were about 3,000 men and women watching Samson perform. Then Samson prayed to the Lord, "Sovereign Lord, remember me, praise God, strengthen me just once more, and let me with one blow avenge the Philistines for my 2 eyes." Then Samson reached toward the 2 central pillars of which the temple stood, bracing himself against them, his right hand on the one and his left hand on the other. Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines." Then he pushed with all his might, came down, and down came the temple on the rulers and all the people in it. Thus he killed many more than when he died than when he lived. Then his brothers and his father's whole family went down to get him. They brought him back and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol in the tomb of Manoah, his father. He had led Israel 20 years. Oh, fucking what's his name? Samson sounds like a fucking top G gangster. Oh, that's short. Cool. Now a man named Mikach from the hill country of Ephraim said to his mother, "The 1,100 shekels of silver that are taken from you, and about which I heard you utter a curse, I have that silver with me." I took it. Then his mother said, "The Lord bless you, my son." When he returned the 11 shekels of silver and his mother, when he returned the 100 shekels of silver to his mother, she said, "I solemnly consecrate my silver to the Lord for my son to make an image overlaid with silver. I'll give it back to you." So after he returned the silver to his mother, she took 200 shekels of silver and gave them to a silversmith, who used them to make an idol. It was put in Mikach's house. Now this man Mikach had a shrine, and he made an ephod and some household gods, and installed one of his sons as his priest. In those days Israel had no king. Everyone did as they saw fit. A young Levite from Bethlehem in Judah, who had been living with the clan of Judah, left the town in search of some other place to stay. On his way, he came to Mikach's house in the hill country of Ephraim. Mikach asked him, "Where are you from?" I'm a Levite. "From Bethlehem in Judah," he said, "and I'm looking for a place to stay." Then Mikach said to him, "Live with me and be my father and priest, and I'll give you 10 shekels of silver a year, your clothes, and your food." So the Levite agreed to live with him, and the young man became like one of his sons to him. Then Mikach installed the Levite, and the young man became his priest and lived in his house. And Mikach said, "Now I know that the Lord will be good to me, since the Levite has become my priest." It's kind of long. Can I really be arsed reading that shit? Okay. The Danites settled in Laish. In those days, Israel had no king. And in those days, the tribe of the Danites was seeking a place of their own where they might settle, because they had not yet come into an inheritance among the tribes of Israel. So the Danites sent 5 of their leading men from Zorah and Eshtaol to spy out the land and explore it. These men represented all the Danites. He told them, "Go explore the land. So they entered the hill country of Ephraim and came to the house of Micah, where they spent the night. When they were near Micah's house, they recognized the voice of the young Levite. So they turned in there and asked him, "Who brought you here? What are you doing in this place? Why are you here?" He told them that what Micah had done for him, and said, He has hired me, and I am his priest." They said to him, "Please inquire of God to learn where our journey will be successful." Okay. Next, this man represents the night. The next contact is a voice. Priest. The priest answered them, "Go in peace, your journey has the Lord's approval." So the 5 men left and came to Laish, where they saw that the people were living in safety like the Sidonites, and at peace and secure. And since their land lacked nothing, they were prosperous. Also, they lived a long way from the Sidonians and had no relationship with anyone else. When they returned to Zorah and Eshtaol, their fellow Danites asked them, "How did you find things?" They answered, "Come on, let's attack them. We have seen their land, and it's very good. Are you going to do something? Don't hesitate to go there and take it over." Okay, I will finish here. I'll read more some other time. Judges number, what the fuck's the number? 18. Judges number 18:9.